because I'll often be up at midnight when it drops. I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll just stay up and I'll listen to the latest episode, and then I'll listen to it and I'll fall asleep and I'll wake up the next day and I'll have to listen again because I won't remember anything that happened.
Well, have a weird dream.
So exactly what I did last night was I started listening seconds after midnight, and the first thing they did was they literally spent 14 minutes talking about fucking pizza.
Okay, that's a podcast for you, Stu. There you go.
I know, and bless them, we love the Danger Club. But 14 minutes talking about pizza. So that meant that the final 25 minutes of listening to the Danger Club podcast last night was me eating pizza.
Thanks, Dan. You ruined Stu's diet. How dare you? Oh dear. Welcome back, listeners, to Tales from the 20 Side, a Pathfinder 2nd Edition Let's Play podcast. My name is Dom, and I'm your GM for this game and for many others, and I'm joined by Stu.
You remembered this episode, then?
I did. I made a point of doing it as well.
You could tell.
I was like, how early can I get away with it, just to make absolutely damn sure? Oh dear. I'm joined by Neil.
Hello.
And I'm joined by Amy.
Hello.
Welcome back, everybody. Right, it's going well.
How have we been?
Since like 2 minutes ago.
Cliff?
I mean, yeah.
I am.
Yeah, we're waiting to hear on a dice roll.
So any second now, Michael Caine's going to pop up and just be like, don't worry, lads, got an idea. That's the kind of week I left you on last week. It was great.
Oh, no.
Well, like for us, Baldric's going to turn up. I have a cunning plan. We've got a plan, and the plan's working.
Yeah, see, maybe we should just make plans, because that seems to work.
We've made plans in the past.
Well, let's see if we survive this one first.
The plans work, it's just that we don't work the plans.
No. We are this time. I'm very surprised.
Yes. Yeah, everything's gone. It's gone worryingly as you imagined it would.
It's all too good to be true. So something's gonna mess it up soon, I'm sure.
I mean, to be fair, it's not entirely according to plan because it is like now on an angle. This Barghest and Otto shoving it back is on an angle which we weren't anticipating.
Yeah, there's a bit more of a variable there, for sure. Like if you get obviously if you get the angle too steep, you're going to push it just into the wall rather than into the entrance. It's definitely moving in the right direction. How are we all feeling? I'm keen to hear how Otto's feeling. He's been tucked away inside his little hidey hole for a while now. How's he doing?
Yeah, then I come out and I've hardly got the cramp out of my legs, and then I get gassed.
Yeah. You see Otto kind of hobbling out as his leg's gone to sleep or something.
Yeah.
Just hang on, I'll be with you in a moment. There we go.
But I will have my revenge.
Perhaps you will, because you've just cast a big old crashing wave, your second and final crashing wave, unless I'm mistaken.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, what's going through Otto's head at this moment in time?
If this doesn't work, then it's Fleet Step for me.
Which you already have cast on you, so you wouldn't even need to waste your actions. You could just GTFO anytime you like.
But Otto is a team player, and he is loyal, if nothing else.
Insofar as the team has something to offer him.
When you were going to bet against us in the tournament?
Well, I just thought it would be constant. If you lost, then at least we'd have some money.
Okay, I'll accept that. So,
I mean, Owen's he was sort of half waiting for Otto to realise, actually, I can stay hidden here and don't need to come out at all, and then I will be safe.
And no one will ever know.
Waiting
no one will be able
to realise that was a viable option.
yeah, we were distracting Otto as well as the Barghest.
No, I'm playing my part.
Making sure he didn't get any ideas of Self-preservation.
That was my other idea. I'm beginning to regret not having gone with that one.
To be fair, I can tell you exactly what's going through Alwyn's mind, which is, oh shit, 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 oh shit.
Yeah. Della is just going, ow, ow, everything hurts. Oh.
Yeah, because we're beaten up, aren't we? We're badly beaten up.
Yeah, you are.
Going into this. Ooh.
I'm curious to know what hit points you guys are at, but don't tell me because it'll make it more suspense.
Because then you'd know, and that's dangerous knowledge.
It is. It is very dangerous knowledge. There we go. All right then, folks. Are we ready to kind of get back into it?
Yeah,
Yes.
let's not faff too much.
That's it. I can see you are on the edge of your seats. You're ready just to jump into it. But before we do, why don't you guys give us a little recap? Where do we find? How do we find ourselves in this situation?
No, a lot of bad choices.
No, we've made the right choices. So we're in the Undercity, under White Throne, because we escaped from prison into the Undercity. We're trying to find a way out. We've been hassled by a Barghest, saved by a bunch of Caligni, who we are now assisting to get the Barghest back into its prison with the help of someone called Red Raven, who is, I don't know, some kind of god or something. And that's about it. Yeah, we're trying to trick this Barghest, but this Barghest kind of, I think, knows what we're trying to do, so that's obviously going to make it more difficult. But it's not bad life choices, it's the right life choices, because we're helping people.
Yes, but how did we end up in the Undercity?
Escaping, breaking out of prison.
Just going to let that one go, eh?
Where we were wrongly,
Yeah, and whose fault was that?
unfairly. I'm going to say Otto's for trying to cast sleep on a high-level witch.
It wasn't sleep. It was
don't stop.
charm.
Reflex.
That's it. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Excellent. And they're all at each other's throats before a pivotal battle. Excellent.
Your work here is done.
All right then, folks. Shall we find out the thrilling conclusion of the Barghest saga here?
Oh yeah.
Is it the conclusion, or is it just?
Yeah, Rule's dead.
Is it the conclusion of the entire podcast?
Maybe that remains to be seen. All right. So, without any further ado, we jump straight back into the game itself. Otto, having been gassed by the Barghest's noxious breath, emerges choking from this noxious green cloud. Someone's sweat pouring down his brow, breathing heavy and ragged as his energy is almost spent. He calls upon his final third level spell slot, the largest spell at his disposal, and a second torrent of water streams out from his hands and slams into the Barghest, which has to roll a reflex saving throw. I can tell you, Otto's spell DC is 22, is it not?
Let me just check. Spell DC is 22, yes.
22, okay. The Barghest has a reflex saving throw bonus of plus 15.
Ooh.
The Barghest rolled a 7 on the die for 22.
Ooh.
However, it is under the effects of a couple of poisons, which combined have given it the clumsy 1 condition, among others. It takes a -1 penalty for a total of 21.
Yeah.
Barghest fails that saving throw. Roll 6d6 bludgeoning damage, Otto, as you slam it with this force of water one last time.
16.
16 on 66. That's about average. I
It's not
suppose.
great. It's not great.
Yeah.
2 1s, a 2, 2 3s, and a 6.
Yeah, still works out about average. Could have been much better. But yeah, either way, this torrent of water slams into the Barghest side, and you watch as it is thrust 10 feet back towards the hole in the wall, now fully behind where the edge of the wall is. And kind of as this water slams into it, you hear Red Raven shout out to all of you. That's it! It's exactly where I need it! Keep it there for me!
What? Keep it there? How long?
Not long! Just keep it there! End of Otto's turn. It's Della Thornbury.
Oh, okay. Someone get me a cigar. Right. I will move into basically try and block it from exiting. I guess. Would I be able to do that in one move?
Oh, easily, yeah. You can just sort of move 10 feet.
Yeah.
In fact, you probably... you can just move 5 feet in, actually. You don't need to go massively far.
Okay, cool. And then I will give it a slap with my dagger. I'm not rolling well today. That is a 22.
22 is a miss, Stella. Glide off. It's tough hide.
God, this thing is the bane of my existence. I attack it again, and I rolled under what I rolled before, so they will not hit.
2 strikes.
20.
The first strike, it swats aside with one of its claws. The second, you jam the blade in, but you the flesh seems to just kind of bend beneath the blade. You don't quite pierce through.
Oh well, I'm distracting it. That's my turn.
That's your turn. Okay. End of your turn. It is Stalker Catan, who you see is first of all going to move across to join Otto and the rest of the creepers. And as they do so, another crackling bolt of black and purple energy towards the Barghest. Once again, his aim is slightly off. He sort of streaks it. It glances off the creature's hide. So you see the magic kind of linger there for a second and then fizzles away. Come on now. Almost got it. Alwyn Templeton.
Right. Alwyn will move up to the side of Della.
Okay.
Standing I would say shoulder to shoulder, but shoulder to hip. Second action, Alwyn's going to take a strike with the rapier.
All right.
Total of 30.
Ooh.
That is a hit, Alwyn. It is a hit.
For 11 points of damage.
11 points, very nice.
Plus 1 striking rapier. And third action. If this is I'm guessing this is now a huge creature.
Yes,
Large,
it is.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
So there's presumably room for Chardonnay to join the line.
Oh yeah, you can absolutely get a little.
Or can Chardonnay attack the creature from where he is?
No, Chardonnay would need to move in.
Okay, I'll bring Chardonnay into the line.
Yeah, sure. This is not a
take an
conga line of
attack
death.
as well.
This is not a conga line of death. This is a line dance of death.
Holding the line, this is the thin brown line.
That's it.
So, yeah, and Chardonnay will take an attack with his jaws. Oh, good boy. That's the 30.
Nice.
That's also a hit.
He is a good boy. 9 points of damage from Chardonnay.
9 points of damage.
That is not magical damage.
It's not magical. So you watch as Chardonnay bites in, sort of tries to tear off a chunk of its muscle. You see Chardonnay has absolutely no effect.
No.
Resists all of that damage.
But he's still a good boy.
He's always a good
boy.
It's not possible for him not to be.
Right.
All
that's
right.
Alwyn.
the end of your turn, Alwyn, we come round to Red Raven. And sort of with this magic that she's been conjuring, she sort of lifts up a hand and she thrusts it toward the Barghest. You watch as this lattice work of sort of ice and frost that she was holding in her hands begins to crisscross across the gap between that the Barghest had originally broken through. It crosses across it, sort of forming bars and almost like a cage, shutting the creature in. It begins to thrash and try and force its way free. Okay, but you watch as Red Raven sort of seems to be struggling to push the magic any further, and she calls out once more. Oh, it's still resisting. I can try once more, but we need to weaken it further. That ends her turn. The creepers once again move in. The 3 that are left, they will move in behind you, and Della, Alwyn, and Chardonnay, you hear the whooshing of metal as blades come flying past your faces and embed themselves in the creature's hide. This time, these daggers strike true this time. One strikes the Barghest right in the flank and disappears from view. A second one catches it across the face, and a third embeds it in one of its eyes. As they rolled a natural 20.
Nice.
Hey. Was that Kalignikal?
Oh yeah, he's the second cousin of Boris.
That's it, Caligny Carl. If only we'd known his name 30 seconds earlier. But a nasty strike regardless. That ends their turn. It is the Barghest. Who would like to roll me a very crucial d6?
Shotgun, not me.
Not me.
All right,
I guess.
I'll roll a d6. A very crucial d6. 1.
You watch as the Barghest sees you all surging towards it, forming a nice little clump with which it can devastate with its breath. And it opens its mouth to breathe noxious gas across all of you. And nothing comes out.
I was about to say, does that provoke an attack of opportunity?
It does not. Does not. But yeah, thank you for stepping on my lovely dramatic moment there, Stu. I really appreciate it.
Sorry.
It opens its mouth, and this time nothing comes out. So in a fury, it is just going to lash out at those in front of it. It will bite towards Alwyn with a 31 to hit.
31 is a hit.
Okay. It will swipe at Chardonnay with its claw. The natural 1. And it will swipe at Della with a claw. It will swipe at Della with a natural 20.
Ooh.
This isn't going to be good.
The plan worked. They've fucked up their end, haven't we? We've done our bit. We got him into the hole.
If Alwyn is still alive, and it's an if on this liberating step.
Okay. So with the bite. Okay, that's not too bad on the bite. That is a total of 12 damage, Alwyn.
Okay,
Plus-
liberating step then. Oh, plus ring damage, of course.
2 points of ring damage.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, liberating step.
Right. So, Della, you reduce this incoming damage by level
8.
plus proficiency. No, level plus.
Level plus 2.
8.
So
Plus 2.
8.
8, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling it might not matter.
I don't think it is the latter.
Della, that is 34 points of slashing damage.
You only needed 18.
Oh, mate, I'm so sorry. Della collapses to the ground and becomes dying 2. Nasty bloody wound. But that does end the Barghest's turn. Otto.
And it's...
How far away am I from them?
You are, Otto. 10, 20, 25. You are 25 feet from your allies.
25 feet. So let me see. 25 feet. Range varies. I want to cast a healing spell on Della. A level 2 healing spell.
Okay. So you have kind of 3 options here, Otto. You can either run towards Della and then use one action to kind of tap on the shoulder and give her like the lowest level of healing. Alternatively, from where you are, you could use 2 actions to heal her from where you are. That would heal her for a bit more. Or
I'll do that.
Or your third option is without moving or anything else, you can use 3 actions to cast the spell, which will heal basically everyone. However, it will also catch the Barghest.
I don't want to heal the Barghest. How badly hurt is Alwyn?
Don't worry about Alwyn.
Right.
He's still conscious, which is the most important thing, perhaps.
I'll get a level 2 to Della.
All right. So roll 2d8 for me, Otto, and add 16 to it.
2d8. That's a 2 plus a 5, 7, and add what to it? Sorry.
16.
23.
Della, you get 23 hit points back, and you come to consciousness on the ground.
Oh, I feel better than I did 2 minutes ago.
I need to keep you between me and that thing.
That's it. All right. End of Otto's turn. It is Stalker Catan who is going to. It's a shame. Most of their abilities are really bad for you guys, which is no good. So they're not going to do those. It's working so far. They're going to go for another blast with Divine Lance. For whatever reason, their magic is failing them at this point. This blast again strikes the creature in the chest, but it seems to wash over it, having almost no effect. Having no effect in this case. It was a miss. Alwyn, we're on to you.
Okay. So Alwyn, with his first action, reaches out towards Della, and then Della gets the healing from Otto. So he moves his hand around onto himself and does lay on hands.
All right, very nice.
Lay on hands.
Is
I
that
don't remember how
12?
much I get back for that.
I think that one's 12.
No, it's good now. 18. 18 back. And yeah. And a +2 status bonus to AC. So he gives himself 18 hit points back.
Right.
His second action, he's going to strike at the Barghest with the rapier.
Okay.
That's a 9 on the die. It's a total of 24.
A total of 24 is just enough to hit Alwyn.
Ooh, I was in 2 minds whether to hero point that. I'm glad I didn't. Total of 11 points of damage.
11 points. Very nice.
Last action will be to instruct Chardonnay to attack.
Yep, so Chardonnay can make 2 attacks there.
So Chardonnay takes an attack with his jaws. Oh, total of 23 on the first one. So that's going to miss. Second attack. 10.
Oh, it's unfortunate. If nothing else, Chardonnay is just kind of snapping, trying to keep this massive thing at bay as they do so. Is that Alwyn all done?
That's Alwyn's 3 goes.
Right, end of your turn, Alwyn. We are round to Red Raven, and once more you see she focuses her magic onto this ice cage that she's forming. These beams of frost thicken once more and thicken even further this time. Okay, you see the Barghest is... The gaps between these bars begin to close up and seal around the Barghest, and she once again shouts out, "That's it! It's working! It's working!" And just as the Barghest is completely covered by this frosted lattice, it thrashes quickly and it punches a hole through the magic with its face. Red Raven calls out to all of you. "No, we're so close! Come on, whatever you all have now! Now is the time!"
Have you fucked it up again, Red Raven? For fuck's sake, we've done our bit.
Okay, before Otto loses his temper, there is a second where she calls to all of you to help. So, going round the table, we'll start with Della. You have 1 action to do something to help here. What would you like that action to be, Della?
Can I use my skill with prancing around to sort of like jump up from the floor and give it a kick in the nose?
That sounds like it wants to be
fed up with it.
An acrobatics check.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Because I ain't stealthing this. Right. Come on, let me do something good. 17.
17. Very nice. Della jumps up, spin kicks, boops it on the snoot with her foot, and lands elegantly. It sort of rears back through the magic as it does so. Otto, 1 action. What would you like to do? Would you like to maybe just expend some magical energy? So expend a spell slot just to reinforce the magic.
Oh, can I do that? Yes, I'll do that.
Yeah, that's the thing you can do. What level spell slot would you like to aid in this endeavour?
I'll donate to level 2.
Level 2, okay. In that case, I need you to roll a nature check for me, Otto.
A nature check. Nature. Sorry, I can't navigate this thing. Nature. There we go. 19.
19, okay. So you sort of see what Raven is doing with the frost magic. You release some of your own magic to join with hers. The magic thickens once more, and that hole begins to close around the Barghest's face. Brings us back round to Alwyn Templeton. What is your 1 action to try and force this thing inside?
Okay. This... You might not allow this, I don't know. I have a feat called Divine Grace, which is a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with Divine Grace, the way it normally works is I try and save against a spell, but as a reaction I use it, calling upon my deity's grace to give a +2 circumstance bonus to the save.
Yep.
Can I use that reaction to give Red Raven the +2 from Caden Kalian's grace?
Yeah, so talking less in mechanical terms here. Like it's not so much you're giving her a +2, but yeah, you can absolutely sort of perhaps inspire her. Let's have a religion check, Alwyn.
Okay. 25.
And with that, you watch as the ice lattice work closes around the Barghest's face. It punches a hole through the magic, thrashing and snarling as it does so. Green gas beginning to curl in its mouth once more. Raven calls to all of you for aid. Della, Chuck Norris kicks it in the face, causing it to rear back. Otto lending his own magical energy to strengthen hers. Alwyn, you look at this entire scene and you catch, as you're sort of looking, you catch Red Raven's eyes, these deep green eyes, and you close your own and you whisper a prayer to Caden Kalian. And a second later, you watch as this ice wall that was forming before you surges with power. The Barghest is forced back with a howl, no, and that is sealed inside the Vernal Prison. You watch as Red Raven, from where she is, you hear just a gasp of breath. Ugh! And you hear her drop to her knees, as I'm sure the rest of you do. But you are out of combat. The Barghest appears to be sealed away, at least for now.
Oh, I'm going to have a sit down.
I'm going to get melted tonight.
See, that wasn't so difficult, was it?
No, our plan worked perfectly. All we had to do was get the Barghest in the hole. Little did we know that that there was more to it than that. She might have given us a heads up beforehand.
Yeah, no, I only died again.
She said she would.
We had a plan for getting him in the hole, and we got him in the hole, and then suddenly, oh, that's not enough, or we need to do this, or we need to do that. It's called scope creep. Oh, and this, and that. No, that's something that...
You hear the soft sound of boots sort of landing on the stone behind you, Otto. You turn, and you see Red Raven standing there. She looks at you, and she says, "My apologies, Master Dwarf. It was a little more powerful than I had expected. I suggest you go and have a lie down."
I could do it.
Patronising.
That's probably good advice for all of us. But first of all, I think anyone who's injured, let's set up a sort of a temporary hospital, shall we? And I'll start
please.
Going round doing rounds of healing on everyone.
Okay, who is the? How badly injured are you guys? Actually, no. I've decided what we're going to do there. So as Raven sort of says, I suggest you go and have a lie down, Master Dwarf. This isn't becoming of you. As she says this, she steps forward and she places a hand on your shoulder. You see her fingers glow with the same light as before, as she casts Lay on Hands, and Otto restores 30 hit points.
Ah. I'm even better than I was. I spoke hastily. You know, I have a bit of a temper, but it helps in the field of battle to have a bit of a temper. So
she doesn't respond. She literally places her hand on your shoulder, Otto, and after she's cast this magic, she turns away from you and moves toward the spot where one of the creepers died. You can see there's nothing left of it except their armor, in which you can still kind of see the vague outline of a shadow inside it, but nothing else. And she kneels down and she seems to begin saying some sort of prayer.
Moving a respectful distance away and with a somber tone.
But hey,
we'll start healing. certainly Della and Chardonnay, and if any creepers are injured. I've got ward medic, so I can do up to 4 at once with healing.
Okay, that works out quite nicely because 2 creepers are injured. So I assume Della, Chardonnay, or I suppose Otto could be one of those as well if you wanted it to be. If Otto is in need of any.
I'm not in need of any. Red Raven has cured me of my poisoning damage, and I'm happy again. We've made a plan, a very elaborate, complicated plan with lots of aspects to it, and it worked. It worked like a dream.
It did. I think we should be, very proud of ourselves.
Almost unscathed. Still looking a bit dazed over here.
Wait till we tell Brother Amos about this at length, over and over and over again.
As Della says, almost unscathed, Alwyn's eyes will flick to where the creeper fell. Won't say anything. So just going to use ward medic to heal up. And I've also got continual recovery as well, so just keep doing...
Basically, you can do it every 10 minutes rather than every hour.
Yeah, which it's not... Yeah, so the 10 minutes it takes to do medicine, basically you just carry on.
Yeah, fair enough.
So that's the objective, is to get those 4 fully healed up and then work on myself.
I think now that you've kind of... because your medicine bonus is pretty good. Oh, you've got assurance as well, haven't you?
And I've got assurance as well, so as long as I'm not trying to heal massive points...
Yeah. So I think if you're just happy to kind of take the basic level, I think within an hour or so you've got enough there to kind of get everybody back to full strength. It's easy enough to do.
That makes me feel a lot better. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, just to save 1,000 dice rolls, let's just hand wave it. It's fine.
One of the reasons I took assurance. And of course Della loses the wounded condition as well.
Yes, she does.
I didn't realise I had it.
Right.
That's better. I think we could probably do with a sleep, really.
If that's all right with Stalker Catan, if we can rest somewhere before we journey on to the surface.
Yes, of course. I'm sure we can arrange somewhere comfortable for you to bed down. That was some fine work. A little unexpected difficulty at the end, perhaps. It seemed a little larger than we were used to dealing with it, but it's back inside the Vernal Prison now, which is the main thing.
Do you think it'll break out again?
It's unlikely. It's the first time. Well, the whole reason it broke out the first time was because of outside interference. Some people from the surface tried to break through. I think they were trying to dig a tunnel or something. Little bit. They ignored Red Raven's warnings and they unleashed that upon us all. However, it is worrying that it seemed stronger. Perhaps it will break free again, but I think it'll be a long time before that happens.
Yes, we'll be long gone by then.
Indeed, you will.
The people who tried to, the people that were trying to dig this tunnel, you think? Am I right in thinking, I can't remember if it's yourself or Red Raven who said perhaps they were heralds of summer's return?
Yes, that's what they call themselves. Some kind of Milani cult. I think they are rebels of some sort, fighting against whatever's going on the surface. They were looking to consolidate supply lines between their I suppose their outposts or whatever. They saw the Vernal Prison as an obstruction and decided they would create a shortcut, I suppose.
Right.
The ones who came here to do so, I believe all of them died. You can see there where the battle took place, and they indicate to where you sort of see broken mining equipment, sort of shards of metal, perhaps from swords or whatever, scattered across the ground.
Well, we know their leaders. I think we can make sure that that Red Raven is listened to in future.
Yes, I think that would be most apt, most appropriate for all of us involved. I dread to think what would have happened if it ran out of food down here and made its way to the surface. Bright Walkers would have an awfully large problem on your hands.
Yeah. Well, best hope that prison holds then.
Indeed. All we can do is trust in the Lady of Graves. Pharasma's magic is strong. It has kept the Jarl imprisoned for millennia. I'm sure it can continue to do so from here on.
Now, yes, that was mentioned. This prince that's imprisoned. What can you tell us about him?
You're better off asking Red Raven, truthfully. I know little of it. We just know that as a result of this prison in which the Jarl of the Northwind is kept, a servant of Pharasma is here to guard it. And my people, over some time, have come to adopt Pharasma's beliefs into our own. This was not our construction, you understand. This was Pharasma with the work of otherworldly beings. Red Raven can tell you much more of this.
Well, maybe it's an appropriate time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do see that at this point, Red Raven has finished whatever prayers or ministrations she was making to this dead creeper. And you see she sort of just motions, gives a nod towards the other three who are still surviving and who've just been finished being treated. And you see they move forward. They produce a series of cloths with which they bundle the body in. And it's curious, even though, as mentioned, the armor itself is kind of empty and there's this shadowy outline inside it. It is as solid as if there was still a person there. But they wrap it in this shroud and they carry it off into the Enclave, leaving you alone with Catan and Red Raven.
Yeah, approach Red Raven and ask about this. Yeah, this being that's imprisoned.
They are called the Jarl of the Northwind. A powerful genie from one of the elemental planes of air, I believe. I don't know how much you know about genie culture, but it is rife with politics, with backstabbing, with one-upmanship, and all sorts of things. It's a very cutthroat place to exist. The Jarl of the Northwind was one such genie who basically plotted a coup against one of the genie sultans. He was discovered, but not before he had killed his brother, who was the incumbent sultan. In the uproar that followed, the elemental plane of air almost descended into complete chaos until they found the culprit and judgment was passed on him. He was to be prisoned here on the material plane, far from any of his influences or his powers. Imprisoned here for time eternal, or until the genie decided they had need of him, as genies are fickle beings, very strange immortals.
Interesting. How much do I know about genies?
You can make a... there will be a roll. Well, this specific type of genie. Let's have a skill. It's your choice of Arcana or Nature, Alwyn.
Oh, I'll go for Nature because at least that's +3. I'm not trained in it, though.
Okay,
I'm
3.
I'm trained in nature. Perhaps I should.
Yeah, would you? Yeah, I can make a roll for Otto if you like.
Yes.
So Alwyn, you know nothing of genies. You've heard them mentioned in legends. The legends all kind of say that genies have the power to grant wishes. How much of that is true, you don't know. There are no details. It's all come from folklore and all that sort of stuff. Otto, what's your nature bonus?
+10.
It's 10. Okay. So Otto, you know that genies come in many forms. There are kind of 4 primary forms of genie. Sort of one correlating with each of the elemental planes, so earth, air, fire, and water. And there are kind of other lesser types of genies that exist and serve as, you know, soldiers or as craftsmen or as all sorts of various roles within genie society. The type of genie that Red Raven is referring to is likely a jinni, which is it's the type of genie native to the elemental plane of air.
Is that spelled DJINN?
That's correct. Yes, that's correct. And what you know about the jinn, Otto, is that they are generally considered to be benevolent. They place quite a high value on art, culture, knowledge, and trade. They love indulging in new experiences. In fact, out of all genie kind, they are the most likely to approach any kind of mortal and interact with them on friendly terms. However, that is a double-edged sword because amongst their nobility, it is said to be a very cutthroat society. Rulers amongst the jinn always have to be watching their backs because it is likely that another jinn noble is out for their seat and their power and their influence or whatever.
Yes, the Jarl of the North Wind has been imprisoned here for millennia. Every century, Pharasma sends another Duskwalker to take over guarding the entrance to the prison and to keep the Vernal Key so that the prince may never access it.
Interesting.
Mm.
Oh, thank you for sharing. I'm going to go and get some rest now.
Yeah.
Me too.
Can you find somewhere to rest?
Right. Red Raven once more sort of says to all of you,
Yes, please, you have done fantastically here today, particularly for somebody who, you didn't have to help us. You could have gone back to the surface and gone about your lives. Thank you, all of you.
You're welcome.
Very welcome.
Yes,
And
you're
we all have to share the world together and live together and die together. I think,
You keep us all on the straight and narrow, Alwyn.
Thank you.
I would have just got up to the surface. It would have been up to me.
Alwyn, just make a perception roll for me a second.
19.
19, okay. So Alwyn, as you're sort of talking there, you notice something, and it's very, very, very slight. But as you say the words "die together," Red Raven looks at you. Her eye meets yours from beneath her mask, and it's just for a split second, but you notice it. Now, if there's nothing else you wish to know about the genie or Pharasma or anything that I can help with, let's get you some rest. Come this way. And she, along with Stalker Catan, will lead you all back into the Enclave, where you can have yourselves a rest.
Are there actual beds?
There are. I wouldn't say there's actual beds. You see, the Caligni don't seem to need them. However, there are certainly, there's comfortable areas to sleep. You're not just sleeping on the cold hard stone.
Okay.
There's sort of beds of straw and bundles of cloth, that sort of thing. It's not luxurious, but compared to the icy prison of the Bone Grinder, and compared to where else you've been sleeping the last couple of days, perhaps it is a bit of luxury.
Yeah, it will be, but I'm looking forward to a bed.
All right. And if there's nothing else you wish to do whilst you rest, you all wake up what you assume is the next morning. Your hit points are restored, your spells are back, all that sort of stuff. What would you guys like to do?
Have a big stretch and rummage in my bag for some breakfast.
No, I'm looking forward to. Is there anything else we have to do before we go to the surface?
No.
Catch up with
it.
Brother
Yeah, we just
Amos
need to
and.
go. They'll probably help us get there now, as we help them. So that's good.
I mean, I think they're keen to get rid of us, to be honest, because as surface dwellers, we don't. They've said we don't belong here.
No, I mean maybe we're honorary undercity dwellers now.
Maybe.
Yeah, let's not overstay our welcome, though.
No.
And anyway, we need to check up on Amos and find out what's happening. We've got a tournament to be in. Like,
You still,
When was
I thought
that?
that
Wasn't that a
long
week
forgotten.
ago when that happened?
I don't know. Time is weird when you can't see the sun.
Yes, that's very true. I have no idea about. Yes.
I mean, that was quite important.
Yes. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was only for a bit of fun and a bit of money, which means it was important.
Yeah. Well, it was important. We ran out of money, didn't we?
It was for quite a bit of money, as you recall. It was for quite a lot of money.
I've run out
Quite
of
a lot
money.
of money. Yeah. Well, anyway,
Do you need
let's
some money?
find out.
Is that what it is, Della?
No.
And then we went to the
that's not
bone
what
grinder and
it is.
got our money stolen.
Yeah.
We had left.
But we found some of it.
We got half of it back.
Yeah, from the wonky nugget, you got half it back.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can earn us some more when we get topside, but we've got to get there first. So
No, do you, like, seriously, do you need some money? Is that what it is?
no, I don't need anything. I was just quite looking forward to the tournament.
Yeah, I just don't think doing it for money is a good idea. For fun, for the thrill.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Of course it'll be fun.
if you're short, let me know.
I appreciate that. I might ask for your help with a fancy sword. But anyway, we need to get a move on. So let's go find
Let's get a move on.
someone as a guide.
Well, I think Stalker Catan's probably the best person to speak to, but just want to say
What's
goodbye to
their
Red
name?
Raven first.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I'll seek
we
out
should
Red
say that.
Raven just to say thanks and bye and good
Yeah,
luck.
You're
you
welcome.
you find Red Raven quite easily. She sort of immediately after your battle had concluded and she'd taken care of whatever she needed to take care of. You see, she takes up her position of watch once again at the actual entrance to the Vernal Prison. She's kind of stood in that cleft at the top of the steps. Once again, just stood there as a sentry with her bow, with her white bow slung across her back. And you approach Elwyn.
We're going in a minute. I'll just say bye.
Yes, it's been. Thank you again for all the work you put in here. I know it couldn't have been easy risking your lives in and such a dangerous beast for people you've never met before. We all thank you for it, and you did some good work down here.
Thank you. Listen, I see you standing sentry there, as you were when we first met you. Is there anything we can get you? You know, I'm thinking like maybe a chair or a stool or something, because that's a long time to be stood.
You see, she smiles, and you do hear her laugh.
Thank you. That's a kind offer, but one of the perks of being a Duskwalker in Throsma's service is that fatigue is not something that affects me.
Oh, look at you. Right.
That must come in handy.
Well, if you need our services again, just we'll be somewhere on the surface, I imagine. Look for the people making trouble. That's where you'll find us, no doubt.
Indeed, that's good to know. On the surface, you say? Well, yeah. I have another 97 years of my service remaining in my post here, after which I will have some time to wander the world as I wish. If you're still alive, perhaps we'll catch up.
Well, I certainly would hope to be. Half-elves are long-lived, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't think they are. I think half-elves only have the same... I think it's like a humans, but a bit longer.
Okay. I would assume halflings are quite long. You know, like little dogs live longer than big dogs. So that logic translates, right?
Something like that. I mean, Otto certainly will be. Like, dwarves live for hundreds of years. Generally speaking. Yeah, and she saw. Go on.
Not dwarves with this lifestyle, they don't.
Okay, but yeah, she. So as you sort of say this, she says to you once more.
Yes, well, if there's nothing else you need from me, I bid you all farewell. Stalker Catan will be able to lead you to the nearest access point to the surface. I wish you well on your journeys, and know that you always have a friend down here.
Good to know. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Alwyn, look after them.
I try.
Yeah, Alwyn, look after us.
I do try.
And as you all turn away, Alwyn, your gaze meets Red Raven's once more, and you find yourself just taking in just how deeply green her eyes are. As eventually you break contact away, you begin to move back down the steps, and with that, as you begin to follow Stalker Catan and make your way back in the direction of the surface, that's where we're going to end for tonight, folks.
Yay!
Tales from the 20 Side is a Feagle Films production in association with Juicy Falls. Music by Nazar Ryback from hooksounds.com, editing by Stu Jackson. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram by searching Tales from the 20 Side or by visiting talesfromthe20side.com.
Look at us go. Ah, we had a plan. We executed said plan and was successful. Ah,
Yes. Yes.
Only a small amount of collateral damage.
yeah, only one death. Partial death didn't really count.
That's what Otto would call acceptable losses.
Yes. I'd factored that in.
25% according to military doctrine, isn't that right, Neil?
Factor in 25% losses.
Yeah.
1 out of 4.
Military doctrine says, 25% losses are acceptable.
I suppose it depends on what you're doing.
Well, in a combat situation.
If it's one in 4 in a desk job, fuck no. I'm not doing that.
Cleaning the latrines. Yes.
Yeah.
Real life Squid Games.
Oh dear. Well, thank you, Dom. That was definitely an eventful.
Well, thank you, Dom.
Yeah.
You could have made it go wrong in. So many ways.
I mean, that was all you guys. Like I had a bunch of framework for things that you were going to have to do, and you managed to hit all of it, just about.
When we decided to do this, I was like, this is going to be a bad decision because I am in no health state to be running around after a thing that's already knocked me around a lot. But it worked out well.
I can tell you a little character thing. Those green eyes are probably playing on Alwyn's mind.
Yeah, I mean...
He knew someone with green eyes.
He'll think about them in bed tonight.
Probably not. Probably not. It's a person who's no longer around.
I only meant in a reflective kind of way. I didn't mean anything crude.
Sure.